Oh. Oh. Hi there, I'm John with Milleker Photography, and
I'm Christine.
And today we've got something really special, and it's something that we've been waiting for a while. No thanks to Amazon, which we pre-ordered from. And last minute, they decided that, well, we didn't get into our pre-order. So thankfully, B&H Photo and Video was able to have a one or two left. You know, Amazon used to be where if you pre-ordered, they would sometimes send it a day early so that you get it on the day where it actually released. But I guess those days are gone. But we really should have bought it from a reputable camera store anyway. And that's what we're going to do from now on. Like I said, I thought we'd get it maybe the day of, and kind of rolled those dice, and we got burnt on it. You know, a lot of people get these drones, and good on them too, if they can buy every single iteration of a drone. For us though, you know, our last drone purchase was the DJI Air 2S, and that worked out great. It still works out great for us. This thing does a lot of real estate photos, does a lot of inspection stuff, a lot of fun. It's got the, you know, we've never went to the DJI RC thing with the screen built in. Every once in a while, something new comes out that really, you know, the people need to figure out, okay, well, this still works great, and it works fantastic, and it does everything we need. So what can entice us to really shell out the big bucks and get something different? And I've got it right over here in this box. I probably just went on the frame over there, but that's okay. I got a bunch of junk that I bought. But here it is, DJI Mavic 3 Pro, Fly More combo, because why not? What was the Fly More combo? Another $800-900?
Something close to that.
Maybe I'll put that down here. And then the difference between the regular RC and the RC Pro, you can load apps on the RC Pro, and the screen recording was like 1080p versus 720p on the other one. So that really helps us out, because we do a lot of drone videos for our professional work, and also here for YouTube, as we've been getting more and more travel videos. It's kind of a nice little B-roll, if you will, to show people what the remote actually looks like. So without any further ado, let me see if I can, pardon me, Air 2S. No, I think it'll work. What is going on here?
Do you need help here?
I need an adult.
I just need to find a seam and try to get my nail underneath it.
Hey, look at that. Way to go, Christine. Good job.
You're welcome.
But man, look at the size of the bag. Get the Air 2S bag. Oh. There's a little scan me QR code. Oh. I also want to take this time to say that we are not sponsored by DJI. We bought this with our hard-earned cash, which makes it even more difficult when you've got to shell out $5,000 for a drone for your business during a recession and during inflation, and where you're kind of hurting as it is anyway. But with all that said and done, here is the DJI Air 2S Fly More combo. It's such a nice sized bag, and compared to this is a monster. Woo! This is a chunky boy right here. Look at that. I'm gonna put that down here. Wow. This supposed to be magnetic, which it is. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Let's see what all the goodies are in here. Let's start with this zippered pouch. Get a silica gel packet. Don't eat that, Christine. Actually, there's two in there.
Thanks, dear.
That is a nice, that is a very nice little, what do you think of that?
Nice nylon pouch.
Nice little pouch. Very well done so far. What is in here? Drone information. Here are some propellers propped up in a bag. Here is the RC Pro. Here, wow, look at that sucker. You see people hold these in their hands, and you just never get an idea of how big it really is. I mean, it's bigger than my head. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Look at it compared to this.
Hold on, you're jumping the gun. We gotta get all the goodies out first. Probably a cable. Here's the three battery charge-you-do. Here are unlabeled, but I know these are the 2 batteries. 1 battery is here, and looking down in here, there's nothing. There's a nice pouch there. There's nice dividers. There's nothing on the side. How about on the back? Because the other, yep, there's a pouch, kind of like a hidden pouch back here where this is. Okay, let's not jump the gun with these guys here. Let's unbox some of these cool things here. This is your charge-you-do. I think with the 3, you started being able to charge a battery in the drone through a USB-C connection. I remember being a little upset that the 2S didn't do that, but whatever, right? Here is a, oh, and I've got another box too. Here is a pack of cables. One USB-C to USB-C, USB-C to USB-C, and these are nice feeling cables. Nothing here feels cheap at all. Even the battery doodad is good. Here are your little thummy screws for the remote. We'll put those there. And these are propellers. Oh, wait a minute. This thing already has propellers on it, and they give you more. I seem to remember the DJI Air 2S did not give you spare propellers. So what did I do? I went out and I bought propellers, and I'm gonna bet you $1 that these are probably spare little thummy doos. So I bought a pack of spare little thummy doos for this, and the propellers for the Air, for the Mavic 3, and they've got them on there. They look the same, so I'm going to keep them. They weren't that expensive, but you're going to get an extra set of propellers, of which I'm not even going to open up because, hopefully I won't need them anytime soon.
Extras are always welcome.
Right, but now I have extras upon extras. Got some good stuff. With the Fly More combo, you also apparently get, in addition to the extra 2 batteries and the 3-up battery charger, you get a 100-watt USB-C wall charger, and that's got two guys here, a C1 and a C2. I'm not really sure about that. We've got a plug for it, which is kind of cool because you've got all your different overseas plugs. Here are your ND filters, and I'm not going to open those up yet. But honestly, I think these are 3 of exactly the same United States style plugs. I'm sure there's a name for it. To the little side-by-side doodad. I would have rathered there been maybe a plug that came out. The Nikon D850 charger has a plug that plugs into here, and then it kind of rocks back and forth, and you can put different, your different country style plugs. But I really would have liked to have either a plug built into this instead of having to drag these. Maybe that's why they give you 3 of the suckers, because you're going to lose a couple of them. I know I will. All right, let's go over to the, you want to put these back in here?
Back. Do you want to put the ones we won't use in one place?
That would be too smart. No. We're going to suffer with my bad decisions. Okay, here we go. We're going to open up the DJI RC Remote RC Pro. And this, oh wow, look at this sucker compared to... Now, I don't believe that you can get the Mavic 3 Pro with the, and I'm sure this has a special name where you have to plug your phone into it. And that was always a pain in the butt because you've got your phone. Okay, now I've got to pull this little doodad out here. And I've got to unwrap it. I pulled the wrong one out. Oops. It's because it's backwards. But anyway, you pull this out, and I've got a little bit longer one on there because of using the Triple Tech tablet. But you're supposed to put your phone in there, and that's your screen. So, of course, looking at this, it's so much different.
But the screen is built in.
And the screen is built in, and that's what I like about it, because, you know, to figure out your, you know, let's get your phone hooked up. Let's open up the DJI app. Let's close Candy Crush for the 47,000th time, or whatever game you're playing. And, you know, this here, while you can on the Pro sideload extra apps, you really don't, you want to keep this for flying altogether. What are you looking for?
Seeing where the screws were.
Right back here. Look at that. Yep, and there we go. We have spare screws right here. Look at all these buttons. You've got some holes here. You've got C1 and C2 buttons. They look like rocker buttons, but they're only for one press down. You've got two of your rotatey-doos right there. You've got your antenna. There are 4 antennas on this, and you know, you can plug, you know, your antenna, and if you don't know how antennas work, and don't be upset that you don't, because some people think you point that at the drone and you're good, but no, it's not how they work. Antennas actually send the information out the side. So if you're right above you want to have the antennas out like so, and if it's if it's out on the horizon, of course, within visual line of sight, there you go there as well. A lot of buttons on the front, a video record button, a photo record button. Here's your up, down, and lefty-doos right there. Here's, apparently you can set a couple of these buttons to shortcuts, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then you've got your cinema mode, normal mode, and sport mode, a little joggy-do, power, home, and a pause. Okay, on the bottom of the remote, you've got some screwy-doos, which I bought a real cheap little lanyard. On the bottom, you also have the micro SD, and my hands are still stained from silver nitrate from our tin type event last weekend. But you got a micro SD, you've got a USB-C for charging, and I'm sure also maybe data transfer, and you've got a mini HDMI that you can plug into a monitor, maybe goggles. Okay, that's off the side. The screwy-doos, oh, these are really tiny. Yeah. The screws on this are so much smaller, but thankfully, I mean, thankfully they're very, the receptacle is metal, the screws are metal. Wow, that is so small. My worry is, A, somebody's gonna cross-thread these, or B, someone's going to drop this controller and knock this off, and then that sucker may have to go in the DJI to get repaired, to get that screw out of there. It doesn't matter anyway, because I did buy some of these glass protectors I'm going to put on there, and I do want to buy eventually a case that all the old cases have the DJI Mavic 3. I want to get a Mavic 3 Pro case that this can go in without taking off the threads. I like the idea of, I want to click the button, I want to take it up in the air and be done with it really, really quick. So that's that. Everything is very high quality. Now, back with the old Air 2S, you had just this guy here, and this guy fell off all the time, it seemed like. And it was hard to put on, come on. But you can see the size of the camera there. This here, I love it because not only does it have the camera protector, it's got some leather there. I'm not sure if I really like that. That seems kind of cheap. But everything else is very high quality plastic. But it not only goes over that, but it really protects your propellers as well. That is really cool. And right here, you're just gonna pull it out, pull it forward. Wow, look at that. Look at that lens. That lens is just really wild. I'll put that up towards the camera. And when we think about the lens also, this, just like the Air 2S did, comes with some ND filters. And of course, they just look like little robot faces as well. Because just like the Air 2S, you would kind of twist this guy here. and then there's a magnet that kind of does it. And you can replace them, but that's pretty cool. If I remember correctly, this is your Hasselblad 4/3 sensor, and that is a 20 megapixel 4/3 CMOS camera. The medium, which is 70 millimeter or 3x optical zoom camera, that is a 1/1.3 inch CMOS. DJI is saying effective pixels 48, but no, it's one of those bare filter things where it's like a stacked 12 megapixel filter. We're gonna play with that and we're gonna kind of see. I believe the Air 2S is a 20 megapixel, so I'm really interested in seeing how this is going to compare up with each other. And then of course the telephoto lens, it's not the greatest sensor. When we talked about the Air with the Air 2S with the 20 megapixels, that is a 1-inch sensor. The Hasselblad 4/3, 24 millimeter Hasselblad 4/3 camera, 20 megapixels. The medium is 70 millimeter 3x, 1/1.3 inch sensor, which is a little bit smaller than a 1-inch. And as I said, that 12 megapixels bare filter, 48 megapixel equivalent. And then over here is a 1/2 inch sensor on your telephoto, and that is 166 millimeters or 7 times optical zoom. And then it will go digital zoom throughout those areas, 1 to 3, 3 to 7, and 7 all the way to 28x. But you really want to keep that digital zoom to a minimum, especially if you're photographing or doing video stuff. Let's open it up. You got to open these guys. Nope. Yeah? No. Yeah. No. Fronts first. Wow, look at that. Right there. That is it right there. 2S, the Air 2S versus the DJI Mavic 3 Pro. What a beast. If I remember correctly, the Mavic 2S, the DJI Air 2S, I think it was 26, 27 minutes on a battery, which of course, it doesn't go all the way. The Mavic 3 Pro, from what I understand, is 46 minutes. You're not going to get 46 minutes, but you're going to get at least over 30 minutes on that, which is really, really cool. The weight of this is 958 grams versus 595 grams for the Air 2S. You can point it to an object, you can go fly forward, and you can hit a button and it'll cruise. It'll continue on that exact track, what is really cool. All your photo formats are exactly the same. Video resolution. Now, this is not the cine version. Even though we do a lot of video stuff, this is not the cine version. Another $1,000 to get that camera on that, which all it does is the Apple ProRes stuff, which very rarely do I even mess with. Let's see. This camera on the Air 2S does 5.4K at 24, 25, and 30 frames per second. This camera here will only do 5.1K at 24, 25, 30, 48, and 50 frames per second. 4K up to 120 frames a second. And then HD 1080p up to 200 frames per second, which is stuff that we really like. Does 4K on the medium camera. That's the 70 millimeter 3x camera. 3840 by 2160 4K up to 60 frames a second. And then does it tell us about the zoomy zoom camera? The sensors, now the Air 2S never had side sensors. It only had, pretty much everything else. But this is what they call the omnidirectional sensing. And all of these sensors here, the 2 in the front, the 2 on the back are tilted that way, 2 on the front, and then a couple down here. And all these sensors make it so that it's sensing entirely around the device and making sure that it does not hit anything. I don't really think there's anything else important to talk about. Download speeds, you don't really care about that, because if you're out there doing a job and you've got enough memory and you're downloading, you're going to have enough memory that you don't need to hurry up and download. And before you leave for a job, you need to make sure that you got and downloaded everything already battery weights, antennas, remote controller, max operating time. This would actually be interesting. Without charging any mobile device, 6 hours on the Air 2S. Now the DCN1, we don't have the DCN1. I don't know why it's telling us the remote controller for that. Doesn't matter, we don't have it. All right. The Mavic 3 Pro has 8 gigabytes on board, and it's got a hole somewhere for more. The Cine version is a 1 terabyte built in, and the RC Pro has 32 gigabytes, and then you can plug that micro SD card in there. That's pretty cool. This thing is absolutely a beast. I got some stickies to take off. My next steps is I need to register this with the DJI Care Refresh. This drone, I believe, was for 1 year of DJI Care Refresh. If you damage this and you can produce the body, then they'll replace it for you. If it's a flyaway and it just disappears and you can never find it again, they'll also replace it, but it's a lot more expensive. But better than buying this thing from scratch. 1 year, I believe, was $249, and 2 years was $399. So you're essentially saving a little bit of money on getting the 2 year instead of the 1. But you've got to register that. You've got to get that Care Refresh before you register this, aka before you fly it, or within 48 hours of registering it. And if you wait until after the 48 hours is up, you've got to go through some checks. They want to make sure you're not saying, hey, I've got a dead drone here, I'm going to get that Care Refresh and get it fixed for free. They want to verify that that it is actually working properly so that they can then, insure it with their Care Refresh. Want to go through the batteries? I haven't taken a look at the battery yet. Let's try this out. First of all, let's take this out. So I think you have to push these two guys and it pulls out. There you go. Pretty cool. Where does the SD card go?
I was going to look for that next.
Oh, look right here. Probably right here. There it is. There's your USB-C and your SD card right there.
Could need charged.
It probably needs charging. All this stuff needs charging. None of this stuff has any bit of a charge. Usually when you get stuff like that, it's got something. But all this stuff is completely dead. And we're going to need to... Yep, I got nothing. I got nothing on any of these things. What happens if we hit them all at the same time? Push that button. So we are going to need to charge these up, but that is it for the unboxing and the compare of the DJI 3 Mavic Pro, right? DJI Mavic 3 Pro. I don't know, one of those things versus the DJI Air 2S. We can't wait to fly it. We've got a couple days coming up that we can go out and have some fun. We do want to compare the 3 and the Air 2S and just make sure that it really is worth it. If you don't need the medium telephoto and the telephoto, then may not be the drone for you. But if that's something that you're interested in, you want that Hasselblad and that 4/3 sensor, we're going to do a little bit of comparison at some point coming up soon. And do you pull the trigger or do you keep with a perfectly good DJI Air 2S or maybe a Mavic Mini 2, Mavic Mini 3? A lot of good stuff out there. And again, we're not the kind of people that go out and buy every single brand new drone or fun doodad just because. It's got to have a reason. There's got to be a darn good reason for us to really dip our toes into that water and spend all that money. And the medium and telephoto, I think, is going to help us out. It's going to get us a lot of video opportunities. It's going to get us a lot of better photography. And then when we're also doing inspection work, I believe that medium is going to do a lot better. If you have the DJI Mavic 3, that has everything but the medium. It's got the wide and it's got the 7x optical. Man, that's even harder. Like if we had the DJI Mavic 3, I couldn't pull the trigger on this. Just no way. Even though that medium lens in there with the 3x optical zoom is so amazing, I just couldn't. But maybe you can. Let us know in the comments what you have. What do you have? What drone do you have? Is this your first drone that you're looking at? Do you have something further down, maybe the DJI line? And what does the DJI Mavic 3 Pro have that really has you tempted into pulling the trigger on that purchase? And are you going to do it? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.